Hi, David Allen again, here to introduce a prime concept that underlies the whole Getting Things Done methodology, the productive experience. Everyone I've worked with and that I meet wants to be able to do more creative, interesting, and useful things. They want to think, plan, and play more, and spend more time with the more important stuff. They want to feel more on top of their game instead of being run over by it. But things are stuck in their in-baskets, emails are coming in faster than they're being dealt with, interruptions and crises are frequent and intrusive, critical tasks are falling through the cracks, priorities are constantly changing and often unclear, and strategic projects aren't getting the attention they deserve. At the end of a long day of hard work full of these elements, they feel exhausted and like they're getting further behind instead of making clear progress. If you've ever experienced any of that, this program, Getting Things Done, the Fundamentals, will give you the roadmap and the tools to get back to what we call the productive experience, being relaxed, focused, in control, and back on your game, in the driver's seat of what you're about. You might be in challenging circumstances, and often are, but you're at the controls and are appropriately engaged with the situation. I'm sure you know what this positive productive experience is like. I'm sure you've tasted each of these components of that state. You're in control, like running a meeting with a clear agenda, with all the right ingredients and no distractions. You're relaxed, like feeling comfortable just playing with your kids or enjoying a conversation with your friends, and you aren't being pulled or stressed or distracted by a meeting coming up the next day with your boss. You're highly focused, such as when you stay fully engaged with a project like putting together your son's bicycle or surfing the web for something that really interests you. You're inspired, like when time seems to disappear. Ever get a great idea about some project to do on a weekend around your house, or get deeply engrossed in brainstorming about an exciting project? Ever look at your watch and wonder where the last 3 hours went? Athletes refer to that as being in your zone. And you were making perceived progress on meaningful things. You got a new set of tires put on your car. You put the new brochure into the mail. You turned in the finished report to your supervisor. This ability to get into forward motion with relaxed, focused control is the promise of learning and implementing the Getting Things Done methodology. And this positive, clear-headed frame of mind is, these days, not just a nice to have, but it's a must-have in order to deal effectively with our world full of way too much to do, with so many things coming at us so fast. There's an image from the martial arts that is a useful metaphor for the positive mental framework this Getting Things Done method can create. Mind like water. What's that? Just as water matches and reacts exactly to what's thrown into it, a clear mind allows for a more appropriate response to whatever we're dealing with. And it's just like water is fluid with no constraints, our mind, when freed up from the things that pull or push on it, can shift its focus from one thing to the next without being held back in unproductive activity. In other words, when we have to multitask or rapidly refocus or concentrate on a critical piece of work, we need to be free of residue that gets in our way so that we can give appropriate attention to what's next and what's at hand. And we have all of our mental faculties clear, present, and accounted for. In the coming times, your ability and confidence to access and use your inner intuitive wisdom to make decisions will be your key competency. It's easy to get thrown off this track. It will likely happen often that we lose some level of control of our inner and outer world and some clarity of focus about what we should be doing. That's par for the course and a natural consequence of our creative and productive engagement in our world. The key will be to recognize when you or your larger group fall off this balance point and to employ the methods necessary to get yourself back to the optimal productive state. That will be the essence of much of our coaching in this program from here forward.